Morning, brothers. Brave members of the War Pigs. I can't believe this campaign's only 27 days old. It's been so freaking eventful. It's been like, so much has happened. The incredible good luck of getting our hands on the direwolf armor. We then lost half our squad. Now we're trying to rebuild. We've got a bunch of level 1s back in. Athelstan, a bunch of people are injured. We're all hurt. Running out of money. Got a few pikes. It's been such a bipolar campaign. Everything's been going really, really well or disastrously. Anyway. Oh, almost out of ammunition. Hopefully one of these cities on the way there has a Fletcher. There you go. We'll stop in at Kalkburg, see if we can't get some cheap arrows. I think I've kind of accepted already that this is going to be my last campaign playing on expert mode. But I don't want to just stop it in the middle of the playthrough. We will see it through to the end. Whatever that end may be, or however long it might take to get there. Good God, look at Forrest. He's level 2 and he's already got a partly collapsed lung and a maimed foot. If we have to flee from something, he's gonna die, that's for sure. And look at him. Oh, God. 109 for ammo there. 130 for ammo here. Guess we're not buying more ammo then. Dolmar Archer comes through with reports from food stocks. No, we do not do that. We do not raid farms. Although I'm thinking it might be interesting to do a playthrough where every single time you get one of those pop-ups, you do the evil thing. But the thing is, it strikes me that if we did that, that would really, really annoy Schanzberg and hurt our morale with them. Some brigands fighting some goblin raiders. We are in no shape to intervene. $400 precious crowns. That's very cheap. What kind of work does he have for us? I'd love to go flip this for profit, but that's... So we got 1 day worth of salary. What you got for us? Obtain fingerbone. This could be just what we need. One of these run in, get the thing, flee type missions. I'm going to pop into, what's this? Helvikborg to sell this wood first for a bit of profit. 830, very nice. Also on these kind of missions with the obtain the thing, what up Sweeble? These obtain the thing at the place missions. I'm far more willing to take them on, and if there's a weapon in there, take the weapon and risk failing the mission, depending on what the weapon is. That's something I experimented a lot with in my offline campaign. It was very successful. Like, I mean, we're not looking to ally with this house, so if I can get any, fancy weapon there, I'll probably take it. I was also surprised when I took that option in the offline campaign. Sometimes, so first you get the choice, yes or no, just take the thing and run away. I don't want to piss everybody off here, so we'll take as few people as we can. Because whatever's in there, we're not going to fight it. It's probably just going to be some auxiliaries, but we're not going to get them. You expect some bandits to be footing about. Retrieving the fingerbone could not have been easier. Until, okay, good, yeah. So, obviously we would not be able to defeat this. So I'll just take in the minimum amount of soldiers just to minimize the morale impact of making them flee. But as I was saying, sometimes you'll get the option to take like a scrum, an ancient weapon like a war scythe or something, or rompire. If you say yes, then it rolls for another two possible outcomes. Either if you take it, I think there's 3. You either take it, but you don't get the thing you came to get, and then you go back to the village and you fail the mission, but you get the weapon. Or that's like the middle of the road option. Then there's the very worst option, which is you don't get the finger bone, you get the weapon that you wanted, but then you get attacked by undead. But it's really hard because they already start surrounding you, so fleeing's very hard. You're probably going to have to use that flee option and take a wound on everybody. Or you get the thing you came for, which is finger bone of Sir whatever it is, plus you get the bandit weapon, plus you don't get attacked. Which I actually had happen in my little offline campaign. It was awesome. I got paid for doing it. I didn't have to fight anything, and I got a free war scythe. To the point being, if I do a mission like this and it says, hey, there's a weapon there, unless it's given to me by a house that I really want to ally with, I'm going to try to take it. You can lose the weapon and the item. What, just without having to fight? So there's a fifth option. Okay, so it's 20%. I've never had that option. So are you saying, if it says to you, oh, there's a rompire there, you say grab it, then there's some text saying you lost the rampart, you lost the rompire, and you lost the finger bone, without a chance to fight, without a chance to do anything else. What's up, Ono? Okay, so we got more than enough food for a while. Got a couple days worth of crowns. Oh shit, the item turns to dust. That fucking sucks. I've never had that option. I really want to buy that hunter's bow. Because Dolmar is actually not that great. I mean, this sucks. He's only got 62 range skill. He's at level 4 already, and he's got a fucking maimed foot. God damn it. So I'm gonna have to take Pathfinder to offset that shitty maimed foot. But actually what sucks is, I thought if you take Pathfinder, it offsets the action point cost, but only does so on rough terrain. So if you're on like just plain grass, which doesn't have a terrain cost, then you still can only move 3 tiles. Well, I'm going to do my best to recover this. I'm not in the habit of giving up on playthroughs, and I don't want to do that now. So, you know, hell or high water, whatever happens, we are going to see this to its end. Whether that end is tomorrow or 300 days down the road, we're going to see it through. The only thing I'm certain about is that I'm just worn out from playing expert. It's so fucking hard. So the next campaign will be not expert. A little bit of nice profit there. 250, I'll pay that. Look at that. Trusty stake. A masterfully crafted spear that feels surprisingly light yet sturdy. Like, I mean, if you can give someone who's a spear expert something like that, that's a pretty damn awesome weapon. 35 to 40 obviously is very low. In terms of damage, but 40% ignores armor, that's not bad. And 134 against armor, that's pretty good. And if you gave someone that weapon and you made them a duelist, then it would be 64% of that damage would ignore armor. So 60% of 35 to 40. Generally, I've been thinking that making someone a spear specialist will make them pretty much non-viable in the late game, but with the right weapon, I suppose they can be. They're still going to be low on damage, but you know, if you make that person a spear user and a duelist, and you give them some perks to up their damage, they can be pretty lethal. Or at least you just make them someone whose job it is to proc fearsome, because with that spear, even if they have shit aim, they're almost never going to miss. I mean, you would hope. I'm also thinking that I'm going to start taking Steelbrow a little bit later on. I'm still going to take it, but maybe later on in the leveling order. And take Quick Hands instead. Because the same principle I apply of flicking the shield in and out of my inventory, I want to start applying even to a one-handed weapon, because, you know, even if he attacks like this, with the extra damage, and then Quick Hands to his shield at the end of the turn, then during the enemy's turn he gets the benefit of the shield, but he got the benefit of the extra damage during his turn. So like, if I just take Quick Hands every second turn, I get plus 25 damage. And then later on when you have duelist, you get, you know, every second turn or most turns, if you do the order right, you get the extra 25% armor ignore. I mean, I think like killing frenzy and duelist is going to proc quite nicely together. Chipacausis, you have the worst aim, but you should be using the spear. Okay, so, oh God, what are my ambitions? I've kind of forgotten what my ambitions are. Discover a ruin and destroy it. Okay, so we've got 5 days is plenty. Let's head out here and do some exploring. Sure. Well, I'll tell you what, T-Bay, I don't want to take name submissions yet. Let's start the next season before we start taking name submissions for the next run. Besides, we don't know how long it's going to be anyway. So this is like 5 Orc Berserkers. That could be doable if I had more ranged weapons. I rather want to find just a little hut. I mean, that's absolutely doable, but the thing is with those Berserkers, they're so goddamn dangerous. If even one of them gets an attack off, I mean, all you need is one of those Orcs with a Man Splitter, which does 95 to 100. He can one-shot any of my frontline people. The thing about that Man Splitter is it hits the head and the body, so it's 95 damage to the body, plus it procs on the head as well, which does an extra 50% damage. So even if that Man Splitter rolls minimum damage of 95, it does 95 to the body, plus 95, plus 50% of 95 to the head, so it hits for like 250 damage total. It's fucking brutal. Come on, just give me a little hut with some zombies in. So remind me, what are the backline like? We've got just shield breakers. We've lost all our archers, unsurprisingly. That's going to be too much for us. Way too much for us right now. What's up, Volsjörg? On in. God, that's crazy how much better I feel after a good night's sleep. Streaming on Saturdays is so much easier. Like during the week, I really struggle to sleep. It's because, you know, when you put your head down at night, you're like, ugh, I gotta go back to that fucking job. Nice. Ronomp got +3 melee skill, but I kind of think that Ronomp, he's already... Oh, okay, I thought he was the guy who had a collapsed lung, so... He's strong, but he is clumsy. I fucking hate clumsy. It's one of the worst ones. I work for a bank. I'm a anti-money laundering and client due diligence controls analyst. So my team makes sure that as a bank and our onboarding analysts who actually deal with getting details of new customers are compliant with our internal policies and with the legislation around anti-money laundering and terrorist financing, client due diligence. Which in theory kind of sounds interesting, and it was interesting for a bit, but the reality is I spend my time talking to kids. I say kids, I'm only 35, but you know, kids who are fresh out of uni. It's like their first job. They work as the CDD analysts. And they're just fucking clueless and lazy, and they have these comprehensive guides on how to do their job, but they're just too lazy to actually, you know, look at them or think about them. So I spend 80% of my day telling kids how to do their jobs. It's incredibly frustrating. Okay, we've run out of time. I think let's go take on those berserkers. We'll just hold down a spear wall and I don't know. It's funny how I've got friends who are teachers, and I've always thought that I would be an awful teacher because I've got zero patience for people who are learning things, which is one of the the worst parts of my personality. Because I mean, I was in that spot as well once before, but it's just so frustrating when someone comes to me with a question. And I'm like, just figure it out, dude. Like, I mean, just fucking Google it. Use your brain. Do what I did. It's not hard. Moments I get and I realize, wow, I'm quite a dick. Actually, you're not going to be able to use a spear wall because you have no fatigue. Who else has collapsed lung? God, so the center here, we've got 2 people with collapsed lung. They're not going to be able to put down a spear wall. Yeah, you'd think so. The 2 lads with partly collapsed lungs don't even bother with a spear wall. It should be the 25th or the 26th of February. That's right. I've actually got to book my ticket today. Savant's just sliced everyone, but luckily sped until the end, so I got all out love. Ah, interesting. Yeah, I've been thinking more about dragging various groups into various other groups. And I think what we learned from an earlier campaign was that it doesn't always work when you've got enemies you're up against, like dire wolves or the wolf riders. Basically, enemies that are super, super quick and are able to hit your lines very hard and very fast. Because they just hit your front lines without attacking the other group. How am I going to do this? I think, oh god. Just bear in mind, any of these berserkers can one-shot any of my lads. I think taking the high ground here is like a no-brainer. But do for once. Let's just hold position and see if he can make it there and still get his spear wall down. He can. We'll do like a little half moon shape here. I'm fully expecting this scar to go all the way around. Fuck, that's terrifying. I'm looking forward to going home. Yeah, it's you know, double-edged type of scenario. I'm like nervous about it, but I'm also looking forward to it because obviously I'm not walking into a job back home, so it's kind of scary. Okay, well that's a fucking rip Bosco problem. We can loot some awesome flails, which no one has the fatigue to be able to use. So, kind of not all that good, really. Okay, fuck the spear wall. You see, Picasso doesn't even have the fucking fatigue. Oh, we're all dead. This is super risky, but I want to hold that berserker there so that Ronan can get the height advantage. What up, Fredo? We're just seeing out the rest of the formalities here. Oh, Bosco, look at this broken elbow. Oh god, the best he can do is just try and tank a hit or two. It's the most we can get out of him here. Oh, scary. Athelstan, go down swinging. Oh, you fucker. And I think it is because the flail, if memory serves, I think you have to have a flail expert to actually bypass the extra bonus from the shield. So the base bonus Lash ignores defense bonus of shields. Thresh gains chance to hit. I think you're right, actually. I think the short answer is no, it's not worth it. Forrest, what is your issue? Oh, he's got a maimed foot and partly collapsed lung. Oh, this one's fleeing already. Didn't even realize. Should we go for the decapitate? Decapitate! Ha ha! Off with your head. It's the one thing, at least the morale shatters really quick. Oh, thank God for that shield. Rip. Pierced hand, that's big. Nice. Yeah, man, just berserkers themselves aren't that scary. I remember, like, it was a number of seasons ago, I think it was like season 8, where we got super lucky because our starting companion with the 2 stars, he had iron lungs. We turned him into a flail raider, so he actually used a berserker's chain. It was fucking amazing. Oh yeah. So I'm thinking of what we're going to do in terms of a theme for the next campaign. And almost all of the last few campaigns have been just do the best we can, try to get whatever we can out of it. So I'm thinking that we might do a themed one for the next playthrough. And I kind of want to give my bastards, cripples, bastards, and broken things playthrough another try, where we only hire, you know, absolute shitters. So only people who have, like, quote-unquote evil backgrounds, and otherwise are quite shitty. And then we just, we just roleplay as evil. We do whatever we can to be evil. So on that type of playthrough, we would only hire cripples, refugees, rat catchers, eunuchs, beggars. Who else are bad? Killer on the run, thieves, deserters, bastards, and raiders. I mean, it's doable. Eventually, if you get a squad full of raiders, they'll got +10 melee skill. Not beggars only, no. It'll be very hard to get ranged fighters that are any good, because we can get poachers. Poachers you can kind of say are, you know, quote-unquote evil. That money was awesome. It was a fun season, wasn't it? Okay, I think we go straight for hiring people. So I need to fire Athelstan. We need to fire Forrest. We need to fire. We'll keep Dolmar. We need to fire Bosco. So we need 4 replacements. We need to go into a hiring phase now. What up, Luca? Hartwig, welcome. Torbjörn, welcome. Ike, welcome. Let's take a look at you, lads. Ike the Courier. So 42 starting ranged skill is, I think, too low, even though he's got 2 stars. Someone do the math for me. With 2 stars on ranged, he will roll 3 to 4 every level. So let's say 3.5 times 11. So 33 times 6 is 39. Let's call it an even 40. So at most he'll have 80 range skill at level 11. That's pretty arse. I think we can just make him... Let's make him a crossbowman. Because even though he's got a star in melee skill, it's 47 starting, which is pretty awful. Who's next on our list? I'm thinking that I just need... I'm desperate for anyone who can use a ranged weapon. Who's next? Alex the Great. Torbjörn, very nice. Melee skill and fatigue, beautiful. He's going to be awesome. Gotta keep these guys alive somehow. Jeff Lionheart. Well, I mean, theoretically, there's sort of no limit. There's just whatever's the best you can get. Hartwig's interesting. He's a brute, and he's got melee skill and melee defense. I'm thinking Axe Raider because an axe will always hit the head, so he can do extra damage and hit to the head. And he's got stars in melee defense and attack. If we can ever get him there. Gelinus. Cadra. Right, Forrest, thank you for your service. How are we doing money-wise? Where's our money? 840, good. I can continue to pay compensation, which is pretty damn good. Athelstan, he did his best for the short time we had him, but sadly, I mean, he suffered an injury on his first battle. Rip Athelstan. In fact, I'm not going to compensate him. He's only level 3. Then one of the backline, I think we can fire as well. Midzoko, it's interesting that he got brain damage for plus 15 resolve and traumatized, so the brain damage kind of offsets the traumatized. Horsch can go onto the front line. Although really it's Bosco we need to fire. I mean, technically maybe I could turn Alex the Great into a bannerman. He doesn't have great starting resolve, he doesn't have great fatigue, he doesn't have a star in range defense. Okay, fuck it. Forget crossbowman, but he'll make him a bannerman. Bosco has definitely earned compensation, I think. 340, no fuck that, that's too much. Okay, so we've got our squad kind of into better shape. Some of the lads are pissed off, but we'll have a drink. Okay, let's check the permanent injuries here. What permanent injuries are we dealing with? Rubizal is hurting. Just swap these nerds for a bit. I need to get into the habit of only carrying a wooden stick on anyone if we're actually going into a fight where there's a bandit leader or something where I'm likely to want to get whatever armor it's carrying. You know, 340 was way too much for level 4. Okay, lads, listen. Pep talk time. We've fallen on hard times. Game is hard. We've had to fire a bunch of people, which, you know, we regret. I regret having to fire these people, but look. We're running a business here, not a fucking charity. You all knew what you signed up for when you got involved in the mercenary business. To repair all this stuff. How's that going to affect our tools? Most of our tools. 250 is actually not bad, I'll buy that. 560 is cheap, but I don't think I can afford to be buying stuff now. We need to be saving our crowns. Have a drink. Okay, so good. Midzoko is still a bit pissed off, but then again, he's so fucking dense anyway. cheer up, lads. Don't worry about it. Yeah. But before they go into the pub, like, how can you fire Bosco? That was bullshit. And later on, I love you. You're the best. Fuck Bosco. Think of it this way, lads. The money we saved on paying Bosco, we can just use to get shit-faced in the pub. Come across Black Fort on your way here. It's on the plains to the southeast. Yeah, we see it there. It's too much for us. We want to keep doing work for whoever we can. So, Hirschbach, Singhoben. I think these are all southern cities, and we should keep working here in the southern cities. Where's Hirschbach? Oh, it's Hirschbach that loves us so much. Singhoben. But I still think we should focus our efforts here. Oh no. Athelstan Pikeman's injuries proved too much. The man didn't die, but you might as well have. No longer fit for combat. You let him go. Lads, we spoke about this in the pub. Relax. Also, we need to go somewhere where there's a Fletcher so we can buy more arrows. We're almost out of arrows. Okay, morale's a bit low. Don't worry about it. We'll get through it. Defend them against brigands for 2 skulls. It's good pay, but I'm going to say no because we've got a bunch of level 1s. It's going to be marksmen and raiders, and it's going to be a fight in the forest, so fuck that. Oh god, I could make such good profit off of that. What are the... Actually, who up front here is actually able to use those flails in any sort of meaningful way? Lofric doesn't have the fatigue. Doesn't have the melee skill. The fact that Picasso even has to be fighting shows you how badly we're doing. Well, once Rubazal is healed up, he'll go back to the front line, I suppose. Can only have wavering morale or worse. Yeah, this is really hard. Okay, we'll do a job somewhere else and then we'll come back here and buy this wood. Fucking Brigand Central. These must be the raiders they were going to hire us to defend against. Three skulls. Secure ancestral burial grounds. This is super risky, but the thing is, depending on what it is, and I'm actually quite happy to turn the fight to just fail the mission. Noble houses. Defeat a group of at least a dozen opponents actually could be achieved by fighting zombies now, so it's actually not that hard to do. I mean, I could have already done this. I'm almost at enough renown. If this is raiders, it's going to be super fucking hard, and then we'll just run away and fail the mission. So let's do what? Let's prepare for Nachtseers or zombies. So spears and swords on almost everybody. Or spears and a skirmissex. I mean, if it's going to be Nachtseers, we will have time to switch to our spears. Spear wall down. If it's raiders, they're going to have marksmen. It'll be a daytime fight. I could always wait until nighttime and then head in there. But I mean, if it's raiders, we're not going to have what it takes to fight them anyway. We've got a level 5. It's these level 1s and level 2s who won't make it through this first fight. Like, our entire front line is likely to get obliterated in this fight. And I've got more level 1s here. I may as well do it. If it's grave robbers, we can't do it. Yeah, it's grave robbers. Well, we'll wait till it gets dark and just see what's in there, but most likely we're not going to be able to do it. Well, now that we know that it's grave robbers, we're not going to need the spears, that's for sure. Flail there is a good option. Sword is just fine. You actually at 60 odd accuracy, so maybe you can use a flail, but the thing is he'll get tired so quickly. No one really has the fatigue here to use that other flail. Okay, lads, this is most likely the final battle for us. Let's do it. What up, Dolphin Blues? You're just in time to see probably the end. The end of the War Pigs. So, let's see. 2 raiders without helmets. That's encouraging so far. But they fell back, so that means there are definitely marksmen here. There's 11 of these fuckers. Let's go to the south a little bit and get Dolmar up on the high ground there. There's no way we can win this fight. Okay, hang on. So that's 2 poachers and a marksman. Maybe not so bad. Hopefully, if they move their lines forward, maybe this isn't over yet. He's staying put. Yeah, damn it. We don't have enough ranged weapons to make them come forward. Well, maybe Dolmar can just stand here and pick off a few of them first. Force them to come towards us, because if we have to advance into this and fight into high ground, then GG. Nice. Okay, so that suggests to me that the marksmen are going to have to move forward as well. I'm surprised there's only poachers. Do we move forward? I think we do. It allows my backline to get some attacks off, and really my backline is the only part of my lineup that has much damage. Any damage, really. Oh, here we go with this fucking thrown weapon bullshit. That's going to be an issue, that guy's presence. Dufoance, can you dome this dude? You can. Only a broken nose, unfortunately. You know, we were thinking of maybe doing a couple of... 80% he misses. A couple of duelists. I was really thinking of doing a flail duelist. Because, I mean, he is guaranteed to hit the head if he takes flail specialist. And then the extra armor pierce should apply to the hit to the head as well. So you are going to be... If you hit someone in the head, even with a helmet, you should be inflicting a head injury. And the head injuries are so amazing because concussion just absolutely fucking ruins a fighter. The other head injuries are split nose, which is less fatigue, which isn't that bad. But I mean, if you can give an enemy a severe concussion, they are pretty much combat ineffective. It's minus 50% to melee skill. Interesting move. Picasis doesn't look good. And let's just knock him back. Lol AI. Ow! Crossbowman. Shoot bolt. 14% chance. And he hits. Shot Ronomp. Now getting past these cart shields is going to be a bitch. Where's my shield breaker? He's here. So let's wait. Let Midzoko break. Also, you wait. We're going to break that shield and cut this nerd up. You're right, it is the undead music. Staggered. Oh, okay, so after having that pull used against you, you have staggered. Interesting. Oh! Fucking military pick, man. It's one-shots all your armor. That's so funny that he keeps using hook. It keeps helping us so much. This raider here, MVP. I'm actually gonna wait here. Oh no, hang on, no, attacking. He hasn't used shield wall. Yes, flee! Flee before us. %, not worth attacking. Yes! Look at all these cowards fleeing! In fact, let's dagger this piece of shit down. We can actually use that lamellar armor he's wearing. Oh, shit. These pikes we have are still doing work, I'm saying that much. Yeah, this went as well as it could have under the circumstances. What's up, Leon? Okay, so drop your spear for the extra fatigue. That was silly, I shouldn't have been carrying that. Prepare for the surround. I'm gonna kill everything else first. I expect him to he's on the brink of fleeing. I don't see how we're gonna be able to get this guy, so let's just kill him. Nice shield, nerd. It seemed like these guys had a lot less morale than raiders normally would have. It's just a bit of luck, I suppose. Stabby stab. Netty net. Not quite. Quickly, boys. Surround him. Yeah, we got him, he's blocked in. Ladder on off. The hell? Lionheart? I thought I would have given him a dagger. Good haul. Very good haul. And a nice bit of pay. That went surprisingly well. This is the game lulling us in with a false sense of security. Overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer. +3, nice la. +4, awesome. And +3 there. Yeah, that was a good battle. Dalmar, with his shitty ranged skill, is it even worth making him a bowmaster? Yeah. It always is. So we just need to get him a hunting bow. Considering he's a companion archer, he's leveled up quite badly. Well, he'll get there, I suppose. He'll get there. +5 on the fatigue, awesome. Wait, what was the resolve he rolled up? +4, I can't turn that down. His fatigue's actually fine for now. Ronan the shield breaker. He's going to be a pretty damn good shield breaker, this lad. He's got some real potential. Okay, and we've got a nice dagger. Who's the next best frontline person? It's actually Lofric. I mean, the fact that he's determined is just awesome. 51 accuracy there. 54, 60 on Horsch. At level 2, that's encouraging. I've actually got to keep hiring though. I think we save up and get a hunter. I mean, 1,000 gold pretty much just pays for a hunter if I can find one. Wait, didn't we see a witch hunter at one of these cities? I'm pretty sure Helvikborg, I'm pretty sure, had a witch hunter for 750. I think we have to go hire that nerd. I always like to have at least one hit witch hunter. Poachers only get +5 range skill, whereas hunters get +10. I'm gonna have to buy that though. I mean, picking up a hunting bow for that cheap. Excellent. This is a nice little trade run because Wielisheim and Hirschbach both produce lumber, which Helvikborg pays a good price for. The name list actually is not. It's 5 people long. Although Dwarfen Blues, I'm sure you must have submitted a name for this campaign already. No hunters here. I'm pretty sure we have an Alvarin. Juan, Slow, Frick, Gentleness, Jeff, Garces, Alex, Rubizol, Ronald, Medzoko. Oh, look at that. Okay. You're on the list of fresh meat, soon to be cut to pieces. Because it's Raider, Disguised Bandit, Raider. In most of those deaths, you'll probably find that even though the Raider got the final blow, it was a marksman that did all the damage. It tends to be the marksmen that are the problem to deal with. Oh yeah, Roderick. What's up, my man? Or we could hire Igil, because I do need a bowyer. Let's go for the bowyer. Actually, no, you know what? Actually, getting a Witch Hunter for 750 is quite rare. So I'm not gonna, and bowyers are easier to hire than Witch Hunters. Okay, it sucks that he's Dastard, but 48 starting range skill with 2 stars is actually pretty damn good. And he's bloodthirsty. We'll start at Wavering. But we can just... that fucking sucks. I'm pretty sure Dastard can be removed. In any case. Now we go. Now, Picasso should only be a reserve. He shouldn't ever be right in the thick of things. Actually, you know what? With that amount of fatigue, he can actually be a shield breaker in that side of the formation. Let's give him that. Yeah, so Rubizol, your job is just to use split shield. There is still 1,000 gold there for a Fletcher, and I absolutely want to try to get my hands on him if I can. Okay, who's really suffering for fatigue up front? This is -7 for 110. This is -6 for 115, so 72, 70 is the lowest there. Oh, that actually doesn't help. Athelstan, we had to retire him, I'm afraid. He just wasn't cutting it, sorry to say. Athelstan suffered a permanent injury, so I felt like it was best we had to cut away the dead weight sooner rather than later. I might just bounce between these 3 cities for a while. We're quite popular at Hirschbach. We can buy lumber, sell it here. This could be a good little profitable route for us. Turn stomp. Oh, awesome. Give. This is an issue though, the lack of ammunition. Is problem. Giving out handies for crack. Poor Athelstan. Orphan Blues, I must warn you, we have a very strict policy of puns in this channel. Bannable offense. I'll let you off with a warning though. So again, obtain star map disc. It'll be a fight against auxiliaries or legionaries. So we're not going to do it. We'll just try to run away. And by doing this, if we get the event where it says there's a weapon there, do you want to take it? Ooh. A Kopesh. Take the Kopesh. Will be enough. Take the Kopesh. With the star map in hand, a relief. That was easy enough. Free Kopesh! Woohoo! Totally worth the risk. And now our 74 accuracy Dufointe gets to use a Kopesh. Fuck yeah. So that is the kind of mission where you're taking a chance doing what I did there. But as you can see, it can pay off in a big way if you get a bit lucky. Yeah, I think there's 5 possible outcomes, as we discussed a little bit earlier, and that was the very best of all the outcomes. Yeah, the Kopesh is great. Maximum fatigue, -10 isn't so bad. It does a lot of armor damage. The bleeding damage is only +5. Master Cleavers to inflict gruesome wounds. Skills use less fatigue. Doubles bleed damage. Turns cleave into a 10 fatigue swing. Turns that into 15 fatigue. I think we might just turn him from instead of making him a raider, we could make him a cleaver duelist. Well, think about it. What do you guys think? Cleaver duelist? Oh, I mean, I need someone tough on the flank. One other thing I was thinking about this morning was the 6 and 6 lineup isn't really working for us. I'm thinking of going back to 7 and 5, but that would mean having only 3 archers as opposed to 4 that we normally would. But what we knew was going to happen by having the 6 and 6 is that when we're fighting against larger numbers, our bannerman and our sergeant get into melee contact quite quickly. That's the Nicosavan blade, yes. But by going to a 7 and 5 setup, your backline tends to not get into melee contact. It does mean, though, that the shield breakers are going to be mostly reserves, because I'll just need to get one more archer in here, which will go there. We need one more frontline person. So I think we're going to switch up to the old 7 and 5 tactic. I mean, so currently it's got 25 ignores armor. That would take it up to 50% ignores armor. So 50% of 35 to 55. So 17.5 to almost 30. The thing is, if I want to go for 4 archers and still have 2 sergeants, or a sergeant and a bannerman, then I have to go 6 and 6, which means my sergeant and bannerman are very often getting caught into melee contact. I think let's try 7 and 5 and go for 3 archers. What are the fatigue numbers like up front? Not great. All mid-70s. It's okay, but not great. Not enough to be using kite shields. Well, the thing is, Bantha, I actually wouldn't want a legendary orc cleaver. I just want a regular legendary cleaver. The orc one is +5 fatigue per swing. He'll get exhausted so fucking quickly. I actually quite like the Kopesh. The Kopesh has a higher armor destruction value. What's up, Mark? Hang around till morning. Walk along the roads. We haven't seen anyone around here. Move out of my sight. Ugh, that's the second time that's happened where we haven't gotten the free brother. I wouldn't think so, Dolphin Blues. He probably wouldn't be safe enough. But we are going to be using quick hands to alternate between having a shield every second turn. And if you time it correctly, you can have him always have a shield out. It just means every second turn you have to let the enemies attack him before he gets to attack. I have to buy that ammunition. And the food. It's been working okay. I still think, regardless of whether you're doing 7 and 5 or 6 and 6, I do think you need Sergeant and Bannerman. Every time I've only had that in one guy, then whenever you fight against those ghosts, the ghosts split up your formation and one half of your formation always crumbles. Exactly, Fredo, I agree. And also the thing is, I can always switch it up, but the thing is, maybe until we get our hands on 4 good archers, we run 7 and 5. Because currently, Dolmar is an okay archer. Roderick has potential if we can get rid of Dastard. And I want to hire a Fletcher to get him to level 6 to make us a legendary bow, so that'll be 3 archers. The shield breakers honestly aren't really working out for us. But then again, the shield breakers were only ever intended to be in our squad for as long as it takes to get the archers I want. Win a battle against 12 or more enemies. Okay, so... Hang on, isn't that hut full of zombies? Let's go have a look. And I have a funny feeling, there's a necromancer's lair we spotted here somewhere full of zombies. What up, Mr. Bollocks? How's this campaign? This campaign has been a fucking weird one, in short. We've had incredible good luck, and we've had horrible, disastrous luck in this, all in the same campaign. It's slightly better than a warbow. If he makes the master crafted one, there's a percentage chance that he can craft a wonky bow, which, as you can imagine, is absolute dog shit, and you just throw it in the bin. I don't think we need that, and that we need 1 more crown. That can go. Okay, we've got 1 day worth. So we can make a nice profit off of this. What kind of mission have you got for us? Obtain. Oh, sweet. Another one of these missions. But I think we need to go to Helvigborg and sell this wood first. Orcs, you nuts. No, man, we need a nice big group of Nachtseers or zombies. And then we can start working for the noblemen. It's like, that Kopesh is nice, but a Rumpire or a Warsouth would have been nicer. Nice la, good profit. Look, 40 to 60, 25 and 90. 35 and 55, 25 and 120. So the only thing that Kopesh gives you is the extra armor destruction. So I feel like if you're going to have someone who's going to use a cleaver, as soon as they get cleaver, or as soon as they get duelist, then they're better off using the military cleaver. But until then, they're better off with the regular Kopesh. Oof, 1280, that's cheap. But we are still in a hiring phase. We do still need to... I think we need to get our hands on that bowyer as quick as we can. We need a bowyer plus 1 more frontline guy. Then we can either retire the 2 shield breakers or just use them as reserves. We need a falcon as well, so we can start scouting ruins. I especially want to start scouting ruins so that I can know what's in what, so that if I have, for example, a group of raiders chasing me, I know not to take them into a room that has other raiders, because they're likely to fight with each other on the same team, that is. Come on, have loads of zombies. Perfect. Some and some. That could be 12. Okay, so I fucking hate it when the game does that. Look, you saw that. A second ago, it was some Wiedergängers and some armored. Now it's changed to many and a few. Fucking game. This game cheats. Well, hopefully it's more than 12. 10. Okay. Where should we line up? We can line up here. That's not at all what I meant to do. Whoopsie. Well, I don't intend to have to fight on the mission, so I'm quite happy to do this. One of those obtain the thing at the ruin type missions. I mean, it's almost guaranteed to be a fight against auxiliaries plus those legionaries, which is a horrible fight that I don't want to take. So most likely we'll just, you know, grab the finger bone, or if they say there's a weapon, we'll try and nick it. Worst case scenario, it all crumbles to dust, or it makes us fight, but then I would have only sent in like 2 or 3 lads, so they can just flee, and then we haven't gotten 12 injuries, we've only gotten 3. Or best case scenario, just like in the last fight, we get a free undead weapon. What kind of armor have they got? That is regular chain, but it's only 50% chance to get it, so that's not terribly inspiring or encouraging. It's day 30 something. I'd say about 35 if I had to guess. It's been by far the most eventful 35 days we've ever had in any bloody Battle Brother playthrough. I can't believe that we actually got ourselves, what, like that improved wolf armor and 3 other sets. Yeah, there's no armor worth trying to take here. Hold your positions, men. $85 and you fucking missed it. Hold the line. Hold until you see the rotting, grey, whitish, disgusting lump in their eyes. What's up, Shinobi? Yeah, these 2 nerds with their hand axes, these 3 hand axe ones need to die first. Nice, decapitation Horst. For a second I thought he might be the guy that has that brutal description. He always decapitates, I think. Okay, we should be able to decapitate here. The normal human being progression as compared to those monsters who hunt orc camps at day 7 and come back with far better gear. Yes, they do. They can and they do eat zombies. I doubt it, Dwarf and Blues. That would be great and kind of funny though, if that was the case. I'm gonna disarm that zombie. Ha-ha! Yeah, so Roderick has Bloodthirsty, so all kills are fatalities, and the Hooked Blade allows for that. I'm pretty sure there's a zombie there. Just hang on, wait to once. Let one of these zombies move. Owie. Damn it. Oh, that actually helps, because he could have eaten that corpse. There's something very irritating about seeing a zombie dodge. Like, a zombie it just doesn't seem like it should be able to dodge ever. But I suppose the zombie isn't dodging so much as you are missing your shot. Turn done, turn done, turn done. God damn it, frick! Honestly, of all the enemy types, the undead are... Well, it depends which undead. If it's just the zombies, they are the easiest and my favorite to fight. But the higher level undead, you know, the legionaries, the necrosavants, obviously, ancient legionaries, they're pretty terrifying. Mostly because you can't break their morale and they never get tired. Alex the Great. Yeah, his range defense is going to be an issue as a bannerman. I have a funny feeling he's going to be just a temporary bannerman until I find someone who has better stats and better star distribution. So for these type of missions, the obtain coat of Sir Istvan, or the obtain the thing at the place, this is how I do them. I have no intention of fighting. So we'll just send out as few people as possible. Yeah, 4 in this case. Finding and bagging the coat was easier than expected. Good. So we've got the thing. 2 arms. A plethora of ancient auxiliaries, that's actually doable. Shit, but I've only sent in 4 people. Okay. Well, actually, I'm thinking that maybe this is the way to go, because by doing this, just by running away, we are leaving this ruin on the map, and then we can keep getting missions like this from the surrounding villages. Anyway, by only sending out 4 people, only 4 people as opposed to 12, are getting the mood debuff from having fled from battle. And this is the easiest 1300 gold you can make. If these missions started with you being surrounded, then there would be a very different story. You would have to actually retreat and take the injuries. Oh yeah, right, Enz, I'm with you, dude. I mean, if we had gotten a war south, I would have taken it, but we obviously didn't get that option. I think it's only a 1 in 5 chance that you get that event where there's actually a weapon you can take. And then there's 3 different weapons you can get. It's Rompire, War Scythe, Kopesh. So it's a 33% chance on top of a 20% chance. One other thing that I've learnt about how I've been leveling my archers wrong. I've been taking fast adaptation and bullseye. Because I thought that if I am shooting at the back line at someone who's behind a frontline person, each shot is getting fast adaptation to proc, giving them +8 on every shot. And although technically if you're shooting at someone, if you're shooting at a marksman behind a raider, fast adaptation is technically proccing, but you're not getting the full 8. You're getting plus 1% after every shot. So long story short, I'm going to stop taking fast adaptation on my archers, and I'm just going to take bullseye. We could do Fredo, but it's super fucking risky. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think I could beat them, but they do have fearsome, and we don't have a sergeant or bannerman who actually has raised morale yet. So every time they hit, we're gonna have to roll for morale. And we've only got 2 flails. So it's one of those fights where we can win, but we'll be taking casualties. I just need a group of some zombies wandering around. That's how we're gonna fulfill this ambition. A nice little necromancer plus 10 zombies will do. I think Desmond died, didn't he? Oh shit. You don't think Dovcool listens and put me in a battle with Nachters and wolves? I've never actually seen that event, no. Also, Jeering Dwarfen Blues makes a good point. It'll be a different composition. I still think this is the way to do it. So retreated from battle, but only 4 people actually get the mood debuff. Alex is only level 2. Desmond does have ready. Okay, yeah, he does have ready the troops. Anyway, I just felt that was a bit risky. I didn't feel like that fight the juice wouldn't have been worth the squeeze in that fight, I don't think. Hang on. Someone here is carrying a... Don't we have an arming sword on someone? I remember seeing an arming sword. Do we sell or lose it? These little kettle hats are nice. Gives you 5 more armor than that for 1 less fatigue. I could have sworn we had an arming sword. We must have lost it. For me, I don't like fighting Ancient Dead unless I have a 2-handed Warhammer user who's pretty high level and very accurate. You can almost one-shot them with a regular Warhammer shot, and if the person has not Berserk, if they have Killing Frenzy, with the extra damage from Killing Frenzy, you can one-shot an Ancient Dead with a 2-handed Warhammer. It's very satisfying. I think it was an offline campaign a little while ago. I had my companion with the 2 stars in melee skill. I had him become a Warhammer raider, and he had Berserk, and then there was a fight like that. He was in melee contact with 2 Ancient Dead. Bam, one shot. Bam, one shot. Fucking great. Awesome. So here's the bowyer we wanted, and he's actually cheaper than the other one. And he gets us another hunter's bow. Let's hope he has good stars. He has great stars. That is the perfect star distribution. And perfect. Tiny is perfect for defense. His starting range skill is not as high as I would like, but fatigue, range defense, range skill is that's perfect. This is a perfect range fighter, and quick is nice as well. Perfect. Who's next? Quarto Verez. Hang on, we didn't name Roderick. Who's next? I can't read what I wrote here. It looks like Dvia. Oh, Bvian the Messiah. Oh, right. Bwian to Messiah, who is going to be an archer. Well, I learned my lesson from the past batters. This guy, I'm not going to voluntarily put him into any fight where there's marksman until he's like level 5 or 6, until he has anticipation and a fair bit of range defense. But he's got real potential, this lad. The training halls, they absolutely are worth it, and I absolutely use training halls whenever I'm able. It's just very rare that I'm actually able to feel like I can justify spending the money. So I think really, well, from my experience, I only end up using the training halls in the late game when I'm very well established, and I'll lose like a level 11 or something, and then you find a replacement and you need to power level them to get back up to the level of all your other brothers as quickly as you can. So in a word, yes, I think we can get a better price for that. The training halls are worth it, and you should be using them whenever possible. It's just not going to be possible all that often. Nice, so we're starting to get a slightly more robust lineup here. We've got Bannerman, Sergeant. Shield Breaker, I'm probably going to replace him with another frontline dude and go for the 7 and 5 setup. And then these are our 3 archers for the foreseeable future. Until we find a better hunter, and until Quarto Varies hits level 6, turns Lumber into a master bow, then we'll fire him unless he becomes pretty good. With 46 starting and 2 stars, he'll roll 3 to 4 every level, so 3.5 times 11. 33... plus 6, so 39 plus 46, 80 something. He actually has real potential, this lad. He might hit 90. I think we're not going to have to replace him. I mean, if he's, and the fact that he's tiny gives him extra defense. The minus melee skill doesn't matter. Quick is wonderful. He's got stars in all the right places. This is still the expert combat veteran economic difficulty run. Wow, we've recovered really well over the last 10 days. Dire wolves, no need. I think it's largely down to the fact that we've been able to... Ooh, that's a really good price. I'll take that. It's this wood that we've been able to buy and sell. It's been really helping a lot. Don't need junk. Junk. Don't need... It's been a very weird run. We've had incredible good luck, and we've had incredible bad luck. Drive off brigands at abandoned stronghold. I accept. It'll depend on what the composition is. If it's poachers or marksmen, we'll try fight them at night, but most likely it's going to be too much for us. How's morale? Maybe we can have a quick drink in the pub. Travel safely, old man. We are pretty much good guys. We're not stealing rings off of old men. Disgraceful behavior. Oh, I should buy all of this at some point. 813, 1250, that is so cheap. Out of interest, who's here to be hired? Another brawler. That's not at all who I meant to hire. As it turns out, though, he's awesome. I will have to take Fortified Mind to offset the fact that he's a deserter. He doesn't have a lot of fatigue either, but he's surprisingly awesome. This is a raider, if I've ever seen one. And this is a nothing, really. Pessimist, not great. He's okay melee skill. 1 star on melee defense. Is there anyone up front that I particularly have to replace? Don't think so. Yeah, he's no good. This lad's got potential. He's going to be very accurate. Eventually, hopefully, he can get rid of fat. So he's actually got 94 fatigue. No stars in resolve, so it's going to be quite hard to offset his bad resolve. But as long as he always stands near the bannerman and we take Fortified Mind. The fact that I'm going to have to take Fortified Mind means I'm going to have to compromise on something else. Probably Colossus, maybe? I mean, he's going to need Steel Brow. That 56 at level 2, that's pretty damn encouraging. +3, I'll take that. We can actually start moving away from the shield breakers now. From now on, pretty much the shield breakers are really only going to see any action if we're in a fight where our archers are too low level to fight, or I particularly don't want the archers in the fight. Cheers, boys. Let's hope this fight goes well. But although, if there's gonna be, if it's like 5 marksmen, I'm very, very, very willing to just give up the mission. It's too much for us. I'm just mentally getting in the space where, if there's 5 marksmen in that group, I'm a very long way from being able to take on those fights. If we're up against 5 marksmen, I'm going to need my 3 marksmen to all be like 70, 80 accuracy. Yeah, we don't even know what we're up against. I could just run in and go scout with a few people. Like level 1 archers, a level 2... Let's just see what it is, but most likely we're going to be running away. Okay, that's not so bad. That's very surprisingly not bad. This is eminently doable. Oh, there's the arming sword I was thinking of. Okay. Like, normally I'd like to put my shield up here, but if I can get hits in on this raider, worth it. Hello? Rotor Ravens Black. Lovely armor you're wearing there, chap. Oh, headshot, yeah, baby. %. Get him, Dalmar. You suck, Dalmar. You're the fucking worst. You know that? You're a goddamn liability. Yeah, forget it. Come on, give me a few headshots here. In the face. In the face! Ah. Oh, healed a bit. Fuck, I don't know what we're paying you. It's not enough. So actually, I think as scary as the warbow is, it's this dude here that I want to hopefully come on in the face. Missed. Nice. He's probably going to get an attack on one of these two, but I'm pretty sure with that armor we can survive a hit from that axe. It'll hurt like hell, but we can survive a hit there. Nice. Oh! That would have killed him. Shit, high ground. I need to free up one of these guys on the flanks. Ow! Ow! God damn it. Rip Horst. I mean, like, you saw how much damage that flail user used there. That really supports the argument for making a duelist a flail user. You saw how much fucking damage he did. That was fucking brutal. Okay, Rotor Rovens Black, prepared to get daggered, my friend. I'm loving that their morale is kind of breaking already. No, frick, you're going to chase down that marksman. Get fucking piked. Loving these hits, my boys. Loving it. Oh, Rubizal. I feel like we're feeling the extra bonus of this -5 resolve from the wolf armor. It's like it's a noticeable difference. Fucking shield expert, piece of shit. 19%. Not worth. Just shield. You'll get your chance. Oh! One hit. Oh! Horst. Fighting for his life. Do we not have a net? Nice, great shot. I'll do my best to save you. I'll make any promises though. Yeah, Horst, you're gonna have one chance to push him away. Ugh! Yeah, that winged mace hurts like a motherfucker. That helps. Woo! You're a lucky boy, Horst. Nice, a nice fleeing. Get him, Dufons. Oh, yeah. Ooh, shit. That's probably a little too optimistic, but we could actually get this guy's armor as well. Okay, full on dagger time, boys. Outstanding. Just outstanding so far. I need some daggers. Are there any daggers on the floor here? There should be one there. Ugh! Scary. Thank goodness for shield wall. He should be ready to go down here. One more stab and his morale's going to shatter. Yes, Dufons. Horst has still got to be super careful though. Ermagerd, net, but we'll net this guy. I think we can actually get his armor as well. Just gonna block in this boss before he tries to flee. Oh, cleaver. Scary. Get shit mixed. So that was our last net. We need to go to a seaside place and go buy some more fishing nets. Let's see here. Oh yeah, it's dagger time. Apparently, daggering is exhausting work. So let's take a look at our spoils. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Oh, the extra basic mail. The throwing axes is nice. Extra tools. Awesome haul. Awesome haul. That went as well as it possibly could have, and we're getting paid to do that as well. Yes, baby. The Dufans, who's our best fighter, gets the best armor. And who's our next best is actually Lofric. So he gets to wear that direwolf mail armor. Fucking great loot. I feel like I want to have, yeah, the direwolf armor in those positions there. Horsch, I think, has earned some time off. Brian, you're an archer. And with the armor, trickle down economics. Calcis. And these butter knives are slowly all upgrading to daggers. And that's very, 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 very good. We got a second long axe. Awesome. How's the fatigue looking? We've got another nasal helmet to hand out here. 52 fatigue, 72, 73, even 70s, actually good. Yeah, the game is just lulling us into a false sense of security. Also, this winged mace is amazing. I still think, well, Dufans is obviously going to be a raider, but I mean, you could always make him a mace duelist. Because 40% ignores armor, with duelist would be 75% of a winged mace. So what's 75% of 35 to 55? It's like 27, I think. It would be 27 to 40 would ignore armor. You'd be pretty much guaranteed to be inflicting wounds with and it'll be crushing wounds as well. So crushed hand, broken elbow, shattered ribs. You'd be exhausting them. But I still quite like the Kopesh. I think we're gonna make him a cleaver raider. I want to get him a military cleaver. Have him be nice and accurate. Get his fatigue up. I want to see him to start decapitating people in the middle of battles to shatter morale. Sword Raider. Yeah, his fatigue is a big problem though. This lad needs to be closer to the bannerman. I don't need to take Colossus on him. I'm going to need quick hands, but I also need Steel Brow. I'm going to take Steel Brow as an early, bit of insurance. Zuckerbrot and Peitje. Sugar bread and whip. Lofric, the level 4 specialist. His fatigue is low, but I want to get him up to 75 hit points as soon as I can. He's another person who I actually have long-term ambitions for, so we'll take Steel Brow as a bit of insurance. I'm generally going to start erring towards caution and defensive skills on the front line. Bwine to Messiah. Student. Borscht. $80 hit points. Nice. Big beefy boy. It would be, but like, I mean, generally I tend to lean towards the best defense being a good offense when it comes to Orc Warriors. I mean, the thing is, like, I think when it's against an Orc Warrior that hits so hard to begin with, the difference between 75 hit points and 100 isn't really going to save you. It'll maybe be the difference between 1 or 2 extra shots. The damn thing hits so effing hard, he's going to be wounding you every time he hits you anyway. This is nice. We can move Bwine off of that crossbow and onto the hunting bow soon. So one more frontliner and we can go from 6 and 6 to... Actually, I can do it now already. I actually want to do that though. Yeah, why not? He's got decent fatigue here. Jelinas has decent fatigue. You can give him a hand axe. This is going to help keep our sergeant and our bannerman a lot safer. So generally I'm going to need another hand axe user here. Hand axe user. Alex, as the bannerman, you need to start using that axe. And then eventually Sergeant Desmar is going to have bags and belts and quick hands, and he'll be able to quick hands between the battle standard and the other two-handed axe that we have. He is. What's he going to be? He's going to be a raider of some sort. I'm thinking maybe even axe or hammer on the flank, because he's going to have very, very excellent melee skill. This is Gaius Skyvala. Skyvola. We've got all chainmail up front. The weakest armor on the front is 100, but it's dire wolf hide armor. We're starting to collect a few of these Scramus axes, which is good against the zombies. Horse just earned some time off. God, look at the state of him. He's fucked up. Actually, I can sell this armor. I've got backup armor here. Yeah, his fatigue is meh. But we'll just take iron lungs. Wait, hang on. Where have I got him? The deserter needs to be right next to the bannerman. Yeah, so weakest morale, at least be near the battle standard, so you're getting 8 extra morale. But this is no bueno for these two guys. We are absolutely going to have to give them resolve whenever we can, and maybe even fortified mind. Luckily for Rubazal, we're not going to have to take Colossus, so I can just take fortified mind instead of Colossus. For Guy Skyvola, I think I'll have to do the same. I'll skip Colossus and take fortified mind. Notepad word, come up with your chicken scratching. That's a good point. Should start doing that. I have the handwriting of a doctor. I just don't have the skills, the knowledge, the inclination, or the desire to be a doctor. So it's like I'm halfway there. It is amazing how profitable these 3 villages have been for us. Bouncing between these 2 villages and that city that keeps paying us so well has been amazing for us. $260 is a bit much. I don't want to pay that much. So, do we need to keep hiring? Actually, I think we can chill with the hiring for a bit. We've got 3 raiders. Picasso, the reserve, will normally be in reserve when we have Horse specialist. So, generally for reserves, I want a historian, a minstrel, and a monk. I don't think we have a minstrel or a monk. So that's all we're really missing now in terms of the reserves. Ronomp and Madzoka are de facto reserves. But we're going to use them in... They're still going to see a fair amount of action. There are a bunch of fights that we can't take with our low-level archers. I mean, if there's enemy marksmen on the field, only Dolmar has got anticipation. Desmar's got anticipation, yeah. Alex the Great, Quarto, and Brian need anticipation before we can even think of putting them up against enemy marksmen. Cell swords, oh god, they're super expensive. Most likely, if I'm going to be getting frontline nerds, they will be... I really like squires. I think are the best mid-game value for money. Cell swords are awesome, but god, they're expensive. It makes your daily rate rocket up to like 500 before you know it. I mean, you're paying 43 at level 1 for the fuckers. So like a level 11 will cost you 70 gold per day. If you've got 12 of that, you're looking at nearly like, you know, you get a fast approach 1,000 gold a day. What are we on the lookout for? Obviously tools. We're always on the lookout for tools. This is a tempting purchase. 225. Wait, what happened? Oh, the weekly deals changed. There was that full chain. 2, 3, 750 for a bullhook. $380. That's really cheap. Yeah, I agree, Mike. Still, like, because when you buy them, they come with pretty solid gear, and it's almost always super expensive gear. But I can't think of the last time I was actually in a financial position where I could hire, for example, like a hedge knight. You know, because a hedge knight normally costs about 10,000 gold, and it's because of all the gear they're carrying. So how are we? We've got 5 days, we've got 3 days. What the hell? Let's go buy some food and let's go find a nice big group of zombies to get the ambition done. I think heading out west is a decent shot. Let's go explore out over here. Best case scenario, there's a necromancer's lair that's, you know, popping out little groups of zombies, about a dozen of them. Five days, 4 days. Explore around here. Also, I mean, it's disappointing enough when a brother dies, but I mean, as disappointing as that is, how butthurt would you be if you spent 10 grand on a fucking hedge knight? And you gotta be, can you imagine, like, I'm thinking if I drop 10 grand on a hedge knight, I'm gonna be so careful with him. I'll send him to the training hall. I need to power level him as quickly as I can. Because if he dies, not only does he die, but the weapons and armor that he's carrying are likely to not be recoverable, and you lose all that money. Draconiax, yes, we have largely recovered. For the most part, but it's Battle Brothers, so with a single battle, this entire campaign can go tits up quite quickly. Let's just go see what's in here. But the thing is, we're all just content, so fleeing from battle can start making the lads disgruntled, and we don't have a hawk to scout. I'd rather cover more ground. Some marksman mini raiders. No leader. I'm kind of hoping we find a necromancer layer out here in the snow. It's actually easier to deal with because the zombies hit your lines a lot slower. We've got 2 days left. Yeah, we've got all of the next day to keep exploring. Then we've got to head back into the main part of the map and get some money in. No thanks. A plethora of ancient honor god. That is horrifying. That's too much. Once we have solid armor and we have... Ooh, hello. We're on the track. 12. Nope, it's too much for us. That's too scary. Yeah, Dwarf and Blues. You're the king of understatement. We could always pull these ancient honor gods here into Collapsed Fortress. Let's do it. Undead, come and get us. Let's think about the setup here. We're definitely going to be fighting... wait, is it Ancient Honor God? No, it's Ancient Legionaries, so... Whatever's in this ruin, the Legionaries are probably going to make pretty short work of. I'm thinking this is potentially a fight where I don't want to take my low-level archers. Because most likely what's in there is going to be... enemy raiders. I feel like the Kopesh isn't going to do much for us in this fight. 68 melee skill, and his fatigue is a touch low. 78 here on Rubazal. He's actually not a bad candidate to use a flail. No, Frick, you can use a flail. And then once you're exhausted, just drop it and switch to your sword. So Timu, this is a gigantic risk that we're taking. But this is the kind of risk that I think you have to take every now and then. Also, Horsch is healed up, so let's get Picassus out of this fight. With 63 melee skill, decent fatigue. What do I want him to use? Okay, so we've got 3 flails. I don't want the flails in these spots here that are near these axes. Because the axes will break shields and these guys can go to work. Oh yeah, flail morale. Hang on, who's this guy? His morale sucks. Yeah, that'll do. Flails towards the flanks. No. And for Dolmar the archer, I think take a bundle of throwing axes and take a pike. I'm just thinking about how we're going to handle those legionaries, if at all. Thinking it'll be with axes and swords. The front line should probably take kite shields. What's up? Loix, you know, go to sleep, you nutto. Okay, this is scary. But I'm pretty sure we can do this. These dudes have pikes, yeah. So the biggest risk that we have here is that there's going to be marksmen and it's daytime. It's not showing that they are here, but I think they are going to be here. The people in the ruin, that is. 32 of them. And loads of zombies. But now are the zombies going to actually fight these fucking things? Okay, so we know pretty much what to do. We need to retreat to this corner to give this group and this group the biggest chance of fighting each other. So this is good and it's bad, and I kind of feel like knowing that, so we know that this is a group of 12, which means there's 20 zombies in this ruin, which is eminently doable. We can always just decide to run away here, give these guys the slip, and then come back here and fight these 20 zombies, which is actually a hell of it's the safer option, that's for sure. Because there's no guarantee that the zombies are going to attack the ancient legionaries. Also, with a group of 20, there may well be ghosts there, and we can't really deal with them. Oh, look, Mike, the thing is, so as with everything in this game, it's a trade-off. I'm not happy to run them in low 70s. I'm not happy to have fatigue below 80, honestly, but it's with these lads, it's just been kind of unlucky with the type of guards I've gotten and with their fatigue. As like I said, it's always a trade-off. So with these guys with their low 70, if I want to get their armor, their fatigue up higher, I'll have to give them shit armor or not effective weapons, and then it's just a case of weighing up what are you getting from the fatigue and what are you giving them. I think we're just going to straight run away here. These ancient legionaries are right on top of us, and I don't even think they're going to attack the zombies. So Mike, like you were saying, you like to run in high 70s. So if you had my group here, with the setups that they've got, how would you get them into higher fatigue? I mean, I'm giving them, what's it, brawny, as soon as I feel I can. And I've given them, you know, the best weapons I think I can. If I want to get them, I'd have to have, so like all of their armor weighs about 10 fatigue. So if I want them to have higher fatigue, I'd have to give them no armor. I mean, their fatigue's going to get better as they get more leveled up. But it's the same thing, like with XCOM. The difficulty curve is inverse because your power starts so low and their power starts so comparatively high. Oh, I heard Nachters. So it sounds like in the ruins is a mixture of Nachters and zombies, which is very doable. These pikes are fucking terrifying. They tend to one-shot this. This is 110 armor. They do about 110 armor damage in a single shot. I worry about Dolmar. He's got a maimed foot. He can only move 3 squares. Well, we've at least got some good intel on what's in this ruin here. We know that there's no necromancer because if there was, a possessed zombie would have hit our front lines already. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fuck. Delmar can get caught in melee range. Oh, I see. Yeah, well, that's fair enough. But again, it's a trade-off, you know. Bags and belts helps free up some fatigue and give you more tactical flexibility. But obviously, there's downsides to it. And I mean, neither of our approaches is wrong. They're just better in different situations. But I'm sort of thinking of maybe there's a way that I could kind of get the best of both worlds. I'm thinking of not taking bags and belts. And so, for example, let's look at this front guy. Like if I'm fighting Nachters, I want to have my frontline guys starting with spears. But once the spear phase is over, I want them to be using swords. So I'm going to have just quick hands. And they'll have one shield and they'll have a sword in their backpack. And they'll use the spear until the spear phase is over, if you will. Then I think if you do a straight swap, it counts as quick hand, so you can get your sword out on that first turn and attack twice. Then on the next turn, you can drop the spear from your inventory with quick hands, which frees up an extra bit of fatigue. So it's like you were never carrying the spear from a fatigue perspective. But doing that tactic wouldn't be as effective against orc warriors, for example, where I want to go to a backup shield. But I do agree with the logic of bags and belts arguably being a luxury skill, because it's for the same logic that I don't like having jack of all trades crossbows / pikemen on the back line. Run away! Good, we got out of this without any wounds. Unless Dolmar gets caught in melee range here now. But these auxiliaries tend to take 2 steps forward and then wait. Just for the shits and giggles, why not? Look, Fredo, you don't have to convince me of the utility of bags and belts. I've used it many times before. I just want to experiment with doing something like a sort of half bags and belts approach, where you only take quick hands. Oh, look, okay, so there's some... We know that there is... Okay. Dead heroes, Nachtseers and zombies. Run away! Okay, we're just going to give these undead the slip. Okay, good. They're leaving us alone by looks of things. Like, if I pulled these undead into the raiders camp, then I could be sure that the undead would actually attack the raiders. Oh, these undead really fucking want us, don't they? Anyway, the cool thing is I know that I can take my archers into that other fight. How much fatigue is this? This is 14 fatigue. This is 12 fatigue. I don't actually want to go now and pull those nerds into the undead. That's still too risky. We know we're going against an undead fight, so let's get ourselves set up for that undead fight. 61, so swords is the order of the day here. Swords and or spears. And skirmish axes as well, for the more accurate lads. 56. 63 is borderline. Yeah, I'm going to want a couple of options to be able to, say 1, 2, 3. I want 4 of the 7 up front to be using skirmish axes for decapitation. Like that. Also, we're going up against the undead who aren't affected by morale. So let's squeeze out the extra bit of armor on that front line there. And we don't need any backup weapons here. Okay, we still have to evade these bloody things, though. It's not going to be easy. Leave me alone! No! No! Run away! Fuck's sakes. How fast are these things? So it's going to be afternoon soon and we're going to be out of pay. This is quickly becoming a fucking disaster. Fine. Off to Tangval. I need to go sell something for another day's pay. At least we know what's waiting for us there in Collapsed Fortress. I need them to peel off and leave us alone. Fuck, we're going to miss a day's pay. That's going to ruin morale. How far away the sun is, we should ask Picasus the historian. Which gives everyone a mood boost, I think. Yeah, no. Hope it's a tavern there. Yeah, let's go get pissed. Yeah. Cheese it, boys. Fuck's sakes, I'm gonna have to sell some nice gear here. That should pay for a round as well. 215, we've got exactly 1 day's worth. Fuck's sakes. I need some more ground. I feel like these short swords can actually be sold. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can sell 2 more of this. Yeah, let's do that. Is there any chance one of these could be a delivery or something easy? Deliver to Singoben to the southeast. Let's take it. I mean, hell, we can clear out that ruin, and then we'll go deliver. This gave us a nice little pay up front as well. 2 days, 2 days. Perfect. And I mean, I wanted to head back down to the southeast anyway, so we'll clear out that ruin and then we'll make the trek down. We've only got 2 days worth of pay, so we're going to have to stop and sell something else on the way back. I'm pretty sure that we've given these legionaries the slip. Oh! Fucking hell. No! Oh, come on. Well, at least we know that these guys would actually fight against the zombies. What do we got here? We got thugs, poachers, and raiders. That's actually perfect. The poachers aren't that scary. Yes, follow us, brigands. We're totally not luring you to your death. You'll be... Oh, for fuck's sakes. That's tempting just for the XP. Yeah, the brigands don't want anything to do with that. Let's go collapsed fortress and then we'll clean up those undead if we can. This kind of sucks. Only have wavering or worse. Steady or worse. Cheer up, lads. We're about to have a glorious battle here. Okay. It's been a nice old stream. I'm going to break for lunch. It's 1:15. We'll break for exactly 1 hour and then we'll come back. We'll be going into Collapsed Fortress, which, knowing my luck, won't be the same composition that we saw when we were in there last time. I'm a little bit scared about having to fight those... what are they called again? The Fallen Heroes. Can we alternate sword cleaver, sword cleaver? So this guy needs to be next to... there. 53 accuracy with a cleaver is not good enough. Okay, well we've got one, two, 3 cleavers is probably enough. We've got swords there, we've got plenty of arrows to fill these nerds full of arrows and crossbow bolts. And what about the long axe? He's probably do I need the long axe? And Mark, I don't think it works that way. I'll be very surprised if it works that way. I think that the ruin spawns a separate group. So if there were 20 and then 10 spawned out, I doubt there's going to be 10 when we go in here now. I hope not. Well, we're going to find out in a sec. I think there's still going to be 20 in there. Unless the game wants to fuck me over and, you know, change the composition. I'll bet once we go in there now, there's going to be ghosts and necromancer, and it's going to be fucking ridiculous. I mean, I definitely want this winged mace. Just to try to stun those, what are they called again? The Fallen Heroes. And then once he's exhausted, he'll drop the mace and just go to his falchion. Okay. Let's convene back in an hour. And see how the war pigs get on. In a bit.